So today we are going to start with a new topic. Okay. So today we are going to study what is the different types of expressions that are possible. Okay. Till now in maths you have studied only one type of expressions. So in data structures we can represent the expression in two other forms. Okay. So why that expression that you have learnt in maths, why we don't use it in data structures, I'll explain you all that and what are these three types of expressions. So like you can see on the title of the slide, we are having three types of expressions: infix expression, prefix expression, and postfix expression. So basically in maths, whenever you have studied till now, you will have done infix expression. Okay. So I'll explain you all these definitions. I'll show you examples of how this how you convert from one expression to another expression. Okay. And then in later lectures, that is next week, we are going to see how to convert these expressions from one form to another using stacks. So today we are just going to use maths and we are going to solve. So if you are good in maths, then it should be pretty easy for you. Okay. Today is basically like a maths lecture and not a data structures lecture. So this is a definition of an infix expression. In an infix expression, okay, before I tell you what is an infix expression, remember the data is referred to as operand. Okay, the variables in the expression are referred to as operands, and all the operators are known as operators themselves. So the operators are like your multiplication, division, all this plus, minus, multiply, all the signs are your operators, and the variables are your operands. Okay, so a infix expression, in that the operator is in the middle of the variables. So is in the middle of the operands. So the operands are on either side of the operator. So every operator requires two variables to perform the operation. So this is the way you would have written an infix expression. So for example, I have written here x plus y. So the plus sign is in between the operands x and y. Similarly, the next example, 6 multiplied by 3, the operator is multiply and the operands are 6 and 3. So the multiply sign is in between the operands. Whenever you see such kind of a expression, this kind of a expression is known as a infix expression. Now this infix expression you have already studied throughout your lives. Okay, from the time you have started learning addition, subtraction and all those, all you have been doing is doing infix. Okay, only you used to not call it as infix, but it was what you were performing was infix operations. Okay, so that expressions that you were solving were in infix form. So I'll go to the next one. Any doubts here about infix? Any doubts about infix? Okay, I'll go to the next one. So in a prefix notation, it is also known as Polish notation. Okay, so prefix notation is also known as Polish notation. So in the Polish notation, the operator is placed before the operands. So for example here, operator is there first, plus followed by the operands x, y. Whenever you see the operator is placed before the operands, that expression will be known as a prefix expression. Similarly, there is one more example here. You can see multiply sign followed by the plus followed by xyz. So this is also an example of prefix. Okay. So in a prefix, operator comes before the operands. Remember, again I'm repeating, every operator requires two operands to perform the operation. Okay, every operator requires two operands. So otherwise, the operation cannot be performed. Okay. So later on, I will show you how to get this expression. We get this expression from infix expression. Okay. So I'll go to the next one. Next one is the postfix expression. Postfix expression is also known as the reverse Polish notation expression. In short form, RPN. The RPN expression is also known as postfix. Okay. The only difference from the other expressions is that the operator is placed after the operands. So for example, here you can see the operands are there, X and Y, and the operator is placed after it. Okay, so such a expression is known as a postfixed. Post means the operator is placed after. Pre means prefix. Pre means operator is placed preceding the operands, and infix means operator is placed in between. In word is there, so in between. So operator placed in between, that is infix. Operator placed preceding the operands, prefix. Now operator placed after the operands, that is postfix. Okay. So any doubts still here? I've just told you what is infix, prefix and postfix. So any doubts before I continue? Okay. If you have any doubts, you can put your questions in the chat. I'll continue. So now the next thing, before we learn how to convert an expression from infix to postfix, or convert an expression from infix to prefix, we must learn some other concepts. Okay. So for example, first thing that you must learn is operator priorities. Okay. So suppose you are given an expression like this, A plus B multiplied by C. How do you know whether you should perform A plus B first or you should perform B multiplied by C first? Okay. Or for example, you are given another expression, A multiplied by B plus C divided by D. So here also, which one you should do first? Multiply you should do first, plus you should do first, or divide you should do first. So for that to decide is we give priorities to operators. So the decision of which operator will be done first is decided by giving priorities. Now these priorities you already know. Okay, you have already learned. Some of you must have learned it in school as the BODMAS rule. Okay. If you don't know the BODMAS rule also, I'm sure you will be knowing this. So before I proceed, can you type what are the priorities? Which operator has the highest priority in the chat box? You can just type. If anyone knows what's the BODMAS rule, you can type the full form of it. Okay, brackets have the highest priority, followed by brackets, open, division, multiplication, addition, subtraction. Correct. Okay. Okay, yeah. So Siddhi Lakshmi has given you the full form of that BODMAS. So BODMAS. So that stands for BODMAS. This here. So basically, it would stand for brackets are solved first, followed by division, multiplication, addition, and subtraction. Okay. So I'll just continue. So basically, now we are going to, I'll show you how the operator priorities are given in data structures. Okay. So this is the way the priorities will be given. Okay. So in data structure, we have an exponent. Suppose we have a power sign. Okay. So that power sign will be represented. Now in our textbook it is represented using dollar. Okay, it could be given any symbol because there is no special symbol for power sign. So in our case now, whatever examples we solve, exponent, that is the power, will be given the sign dollar. Okay, it's not a what you say, a standard sign. So it's just a sign which we are giving to help us understand that that will be the power, and dollar will be having the, that is the exponent, will be having the highest priority. So if in an expression like this, if you see a dollar, then that dollar will be having the highest priority. You're going to solve the dollar first. Okay, next priority is given to the divide and the multiply. Okay, both of them have the same priority. I'm repeating again, divide and multiply have the same priority. Okay, so for example, here in this second expression, you are having a multiplied by b plus c divided by d. So multiply and divide are having higher priority than plus, but multiply and divide have the same priority. Okay, now what to solve first, that I will tell you. So the lowest priority is given to plus and minus, that is your addition and subtraction. So just you can note down this table quickly in your books and keep. You will need this to solve later on. Now some of you must be thinking, when we discussed that BODMAS rule, okay, when we discussed this BODMAS rule, it was said here, like Siddhi Lakshmi has correctly said, that brackets are to be solved first. Okay, so you can see in my table there are no brackets. Okay, where is the priority for the brackets? So the reason for not giving priority for the brackets is, okay, brackets are needed only in infix expressions to give priorities. Okay, again I'm repeating, brackets are needed only in infix expressions for priorities. There are no brackets in prefix expression or postfix expression. Okay, remember, when we do the conversion from infix to prefix, infix to postfix, even if the original infix expression had brackets, when we get the final answer in prefix and postfix, there will be no brackets. Okay, so you can just note that whenever you have brackets, brackets will be solved first. Okay, again, brackets will be, if it's an infix expression, you are going to solve brackets first, followed by exponent, followed by division and multiply. Division and multiply have equal priority, and the lowest priority is plus and minus. Again, plus and minus have the same priority. Okay, they are the lowest, but they have the same priority. It's not like if plus is there, I will do plus first and then minus. Okay, how to resolve the deadlock when they are having same priority, I will tell you in one of the coming slides. So till here, have you all understood how the priorities are given? So these are the default priorities which we have learnt in maths actually. So I'm not changing anything here. So now, how will you solve when you are having the same priorities? So suppose I told you here division and multiply are having the same priority, or plus and minus is having the same priority. Okay, do you all know how to solve it? Can anyone type? Suppose you are having in an expression same priority. I have an expression something like this: a plus b minus c. So whether plus will be performed first or the subtract will be performed first. Do you all know how it is to be done? When plus and minus are having same priority, which one will be performed first? Yes, yes, Abhishek. It will be done from left to right. Okay, you are going to solve from left to right, and Cheryl, not right to left. Okay, in data structures, when we are going to solve, we are going to solve from left to right. So when you start from left, first we will solve. I hope you can see what I'm highlighting here. I'll just zoom it in. Okay, so when you start solving, you're going to solve this portion first, what I've just highlighted, a plus b. You'll get some answer, and that answer you will subtract with c, and then that will be your final answer. Okay, So that is the way you solve when you are having equal priority operators. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, Cheryl. It is left to right. So like I mentioned in my next slide here. Okay. So when operand have the same priority, you solve the operator with first which is on the left. So first you will solve a plus b, you will get some answer. That answer you subtract with c. Same way here, a multiply b you will do first, you get some answer. Suppose you get that answer, you call it as e. Okay, then you will do e divided by c, you will get some answer, call it as f. Then you will do f divided by d, and then you will get some answer. So you are basically solving from left to right. Okay, so that is the way you do whenever there are operators with equal priorities in the expression. Okay, so I'll just show you this table again. Remember, when these two operators with equal come, solve from left to right. I think you all have already been doing this. Okay, that's how you have reached in the second year of engineering. Otherwise you have not been reaching to the second year. Okay, so this is all you have already been doing in your maths. So any doubts still here? Okay, no doubts. Okay, I'll continue. So now the question is, why you all are learning two more types of expressions when you all already know infix? Okay, so that's a common question that many of you have. Why do we have prefix and postfix? So the answer to it is because of this. You can just look at this example. Suppose you are given this example without any brackets. Okay, 3 plus 5 multiplied by 4. Suppose I would give it to you in the chat and I would tell you to solve. Some of you may solve it like this. You will put brackets here and you will solve this like this, and you will get the answers 32. Okay, some of you may say no, multiply is having higher priority, so I'll solve this. 5 into 4, 20, 20 plus 3, answer is 23. So this same expression, if I would not put parenthesis, okay, another thing that I forgot to mention, brackets in data structure will be referred to as parenthesis. Okay, so if I don't put parenthesis, then you don't know what answer you will get. Some of you may get 32, some of you may get 23. So both answers are correct because I have not given you parenthesis. Okay, the moment I would put parenthesis, then you would get only one answer. But when I don't put parenthesis, then you could get two answers. Okay, and this is a small expression, so you're getting two answers. Maybe if there were more variables and more operators, you would have got many more answers. Okay, so that is one of the reasons infix expressions are not as simple. So you need to consider priorities, you need to consider associative property. So what do you mean by associative property is like this, putting the brackets and all. Okay, so whenever you get operators with two equal priorities, then I told you the operator with the, you will be solving an operator from left to right, or if there's a higher priority operator, then you will be solving that first, followed by the lower priority. Okay, these are some of the reasons why we are having the other two expressions, prefixed and postfix. Okay, remember the computer, if you give an expression like this, 3 plus 5 multiplied by 4, the computer does not know to put parentheses. Suppose you give it to solve, the computer will not know to put parentheses. Okay, so then it finds it difficult to solve. Okay, so then you have to come up with more rules in your program how the computer will solve this. So for you as a human being, you may know how to solve this, but for a computer it becomes tough. So we remove that whatever makes it tough for the computer. So from the point of the view of the computer finds this parenthesis as tougher to solve. So we remove that and we give it expressions that it finds easier to solve. So they have found out that whenever they remove parentheses, it's easier for the computer to solve. So that's why they came up with prefix and postfix expressions. Okay, and when you solve it using stacks, you will see that it's pretty simple how to get the conversion. Okay, it's not so difficult for the computer. You may find it a bit difficult to understand the program because they are new to this kind of programming, but for the computer it becomes quite easy. Okay, and the third reason is this. You can just read through. I basically I told you about all these things, so you can just read all this. If in any point you have a doubt, you can ask me. Have you managed to read all the points? Okay, especially read this third point. I'll read it for you. Both prefix and postfix notations have an advantage over infix, that while evaluating an expression in prefix or postfix, we did not consider the priority and associative property. Okay, this is very important. We do not consider the priority and associative property. The prefix and postfix don't, when we evaluate, we don't consider that property. Evaluate means getting the final answer. I'm not talking about conversion. I'm talking about evaluating the expression already in prefix. Expression already like this. When you are evaluating this, we don't need to consider the priority of the operators in prefix or postfix, nor we have any brackets. So any doubts? I'll just look at the chat. If anyone has any doubts, you can type here. Okay. Have you all copied this table? I told you to copy. You can just, if you have not copied, just copy it, because we'll be solving those expressions for converting infix to prefix, infix to postfix. So that time you need this table. Do not copy it, just quickly copy it. Which has the highest priority, which has the lowest priority. And you can write the same priority, then solve from left to right. So let's see now how to convert an expression from infix to postfix. So look at this first example, A plus B. Okay. So when I told you postfix means the operator is placed after the variables. So plus requires two variables to perform the operation of addition. So we are going to just do the conversion like this. Place to two variables, and after the two variables or your two operands, you place the operator. This is your AB plus is your postfix expression of the infix expression, which was A plus B. Okay. So I think first one is quite simple. We go to the second one. In the second one, okay, you can see there are parentheses. Parentheses are nothing but brackets. So whenever the parentheses are present, you solve the parenthesis, the first parenthesis first. Okay. So I solve this parenthesis first. So and I put it in postfix form. I will write AB and I will put plus on the other side. Okay. Now to show that I have finished solving this part, I have underlined here. Okay. I've solved this part of the expression, so I've underlined it. This is already in postfix form, so it is in postfix form. It is AB plus. Now, what is not solved is this part in black here. What is there in black? Multiply, open bracket, C plus D, close bracket. Now, between multiply and the parenthesis, who has higher priority? You have to decide between these two. Parenthesis has higher priority or multiply has higher priority. So in maths we have learned that parentheses have higher priority. So what we do? We solve the next parenthesis. So we solve this parenthesis C plus D. So again I place it in postfix form. So it will be CD plus. Okay. Since I have solved it, I underline it. And remaining part of the expression I write as it is. So this AB plus multiply I write as it is. AB plus was already solved, so I keep it underlined because I must know that I will not resolve it again. Okay, and I underline CD plus, which is the only operator which is not solved is this multiply. Next I solve this. Now this entire thing is taken as 1. Okay, so I'll just zoom in and tell you. So now this thing, this entire thing is taken now as one variable. So maybe you can assume that as Z. Okay, Z equal to AB plus. I'm just doing it like this. You need not solve it like this. You can do it directly the way I've shown you on the slide. Next expression you can say is equal to X. So you can say X equal to this CD plus. So now what you are going to do here, you will do basically you will do Z multiply X. So you will put this in postfix form. So when you put it in postfix form, you will get Z X multiply. Okay. In the next step, you will resubstitute and you will get like this. So when you resubstitute, you will get AB plus CD plus multiply. That is how you would solve an expression like this. Okay, got it? Did you get it? Any doubts about it? Okay, I'm just doing maths here. I'm not doing anything else. Any doubts, students? Did you all get it? Now this simple looking thing counts for around 6 marks in your exams. Okay, this kind of convergence, maths convergence, it's maths. Such kind of conversion will come for you for 6 marks if it comes, or sometimes it comes for 8 marks. It's just maths that you have to do, what you have done till now in your lives. You just have to know, but that when you are told to put in postfix, the operator will come afterwards, like here. Okay, after the operands. And when you do prefix, the operator will come before. So should I go to the next slide? Is it okay? Did you all get it? No, Siddhi Lakshmi. Substitution part is not compulsory. It's not compulsory. You can solve directly like this, the way I've done it on the slide. But it's important to show stepwise, because you're not going to get those marks, 6 marks for just doing it in one step. I'm sure many of you could have done this entire thing in one step. Maybe all of you could have done it in one step. Okay. So, but if you do it in one step, you won't get those marks. Only that you have to take care. Do it step by step like this. Only time you can do it in one step is when you are running out of time in your exam. Okay. Remember, your data structures paper will be lengthy. No one can help in the length of that paper, because there will be a lot of programs that will be coming. You'll have to write algorithms. You'll have to solve so many things. So the paper by default becomes lengthy. Okay. How much you try to reduce the length, it becomes lengthy. You get enough time to answer the paper, but you don't get time to dream. If you're daydreaming in the paper, then you don't get time to answer the entire paper. But you will just get enough time to finish it in your whatever time limit you have for the exam. So you should remember that and start solving. When you go for data structures paper, you won't get enough. You'll get exactly that much time to solve 100 marks. If you daydream or you're slow and all, then you will lose on completing the paper. Okay. So you can solve, like I've told you, you can solve exactly like this, the way I've solved, without doing the substitution and resubstitution. I just did that so that some of you may get confused about this last step. Okay, just to show you that last step can be done like this. I've done it. Otherwise, there's no need for you to resubstitute. Okay, so should I continue? Are you all okay? Did you all understand? Okay, so I think I'll continue. If you have any doubts, you can let me know in the chat. So next we'll see how to convert from infix to prefix. So in prefix, like I told you, the operator is placed before the operand. So for example, this expression here, a plus b would have been written like this, plus ab. Okay, plus ab. One more thing I forgot to mention you is, here in postfix when you're solving, remember you can see I solved this a plus b, I put it in postfix form here, but I did not put the parenthesis. So you don't put parenthesis into the postfix. So the moment something is solved and you underline it, make a habit of underlining. Okay, if you don't underline, you will get confused when the expressions are bigger. You will not get such simple expressions for exams. When you underline it, you know that that portion has been solved. Okay, and it makes it easier here. For example, in the second step, you know this entire thing is 1 AB plus, that has to be multiplied with CD plus. So when you multiply, this multiply sign will go at the end because it's a postfix. So this helps when you have underlined. If you don't underline, then you may get confused where this multiply sign has to go. So when you put it in postfix, it becomes like this. So that underlining helps. Okay. So no matter how good you are and how fast you are, please make it a habit of underlining. And when you convert it to postfix or prefix, don't put parentheses. From the original expression, when you have done the conversion, parentheses should not be put in the answer. Okay. So let's look at the prefix then. Again, while doing the prefix, we solve this parenthesis first, a plus b. So now we place the operator before the operands, plus ab it becomes. Okay, since I've solved it, I underline, I don't put the parenthesis. Next, I solve this parenthesis, which I made in red. Okay, so I again put it in prefix and I remove the parenthesis. So when I put it in prefix, I get plus CD. Rest of the expression write as it is. So now I won't substitute and resubstitute. Okay, if you all want, you all can do it. You can call this as x. You can say x equal to plus AB, y equal to plus CD. And then next step you can say x multiplied by y. And then you would have got multiply xy. And when you resubstitute, you would get this answer. Multiply plus AB plus CD. Okay, prefix means operator comes before the operands. Okay, is it okay? Infix to postfix, infix to prefix. So any doubts? Any doubts, students? Okay, if you're not having doubts, then please take down one expression to solve. I'll put it in the chat. Solve it on your books. Take the question first. Convert the following infix expression. Convert the following infix expression to postfix expression. To postfix expression. So please solve it step by step in your notebooks. This is the infix expression. I put it on the chat. Solve this step by step. and tell you can type your answers in the chat once you have finished solving. What is the answer you are getting? AB plus CD plus multiply. Okay. I think I'll show you how to solve. Okay. That's not the answer. Okay, that's not the answer. So I'll just show you how to solve. AB asterisk plus D plus. Yes, that is the correct answer. Yash, Siddhi Lakshmi, Yash, Mohandas. Yeah, that is the answer. Yes. So Yash, Mohandas and Siddhi Lakshmi have got the correct answer. So I'll just solve and show you how they have got that answer. Okay. So this is the expression that I hope you all can see my screen. Okay. So this is the expression that was given to you: A plus B multiplied by C plus D. So you have to remember this table when you are solving. Okay. And if there are parentheses, then parentheses will have the highest priority. Okay. So now in this case, look at this expression, entire expression, and you look at the operator which is having the highest priority. Okay. Who is having the highest priority? Multiply. Okay. So you're going to solve that first. You're going to solve this multiply first. When you're going to solve multiply first, multiply requires two operands. So which are the two operands that you're going to use for multiply? B and C. Okay. So you're going to solve this part of the expression first. B into C. When you solve, rest of it you will write as it is. So you will write A plus as it is. Then you will have B, C asterisk. Okay. You are putting it into postfix. So I'll just make it into red, and rest of it you write as it is. So you will write plus D. Okay. Now, why we are solving multiply first? Because you look at this table. Who is having higher priority? Multiply plus, okay. So multiply is having higher priority. So whatever is multiply is there whenever, now you are comparing multiply and plus. So since multiply is having higher priority according to the table, we are solving that first. Okay. There are no parentheses. There is no dollar. There is no division. Okay. There is only multiply and there is only plus. So that's why when you compare this, multiply is higher priority. That's why we have solved multiply first. Okay. And the two operands that was surrounding multiply was B and C. So that's why we have taken B and C. Okay. And we have converted it like this. Okay. You can underline it also, like, so for example, you can underline it like this, that it has been solved. Next step, now there are two operators which are left, plus and plus. Okay. So plus and plus are having the same priority. Both are plus, same priority. When I told you when there are same priorities, same priority means you're going to solve same priority. I'll write here, same priority means you're going to solve from left to right. Whenever it is same priority, you're solving from left to right. Okay. So now that means I'm going to solve this portion first, this much. Okay. So basically what I'm doing, this is one operand for plus and the other operand for plus is this. Okay. So this plus this. When I do that, I will get, so what will happen when you solve it? Plus will go, it's a postfix, so plus will go behind this. So you will get something like this. You will get A, B, C, asterisk, plus. Okay. So you make it, underline it. You have solved this part. And this remaining part plus D, write as it is. So you are having here plus B, which you have not solved. Okay. So this part is solved. That part is not solved. So now when you're solving, this entire thing will be taken as one variable plus D. So when you do that, what will be the answer? You will get the answer as ABC asterisk plus D plus. That is your final answer. Okay. If some of you are getting confused, you have to do that resubstitution and all that business. I'll just do it for one step here. You could have said, let x equal to BC asterisk. Then this would have become A plus X plus B. And then you would have solved this and you would have got here AX plus B. So this part was solved. Okay. And then when you resubstitute this thing, X you would resubstitute, you would have got the same answer here what I have already got. So it involves adding so many steps. Okay. These are all steps I'm just putting in yellow, which you have to do so much extra. Okay. And this is just a small expression. Then after as the expression becomes bigger, it becomes more difficult. So I would suggest not to do this resubstitution. You have to try to do it directly. Okay. But if you want to do resubstitution, it's up to you. I'm not going to solve like that. Nor I will explain you in further examples how it is to be done like this. Okay. We are learning maths here, so I'm not going to spend so much time in doing maths here. This is just maths. Any doubts how we got that? Anyone? I showed you how all the students here, Yash, Mohandas and Siddhalakshmi have got that answer. So did you all understand this? Is it okay? Fine. Any doubts? Okay. So I'll do one more example now, and then we'll do prefix conversion. Okay. So you can solve the next one as all this same question, infix to postfix you have to do.
So your mic is turned off.
Okay. So here, like I told you, in the okay, I'll just repeat what I just said. So here, we are having three operators: multiply, plus, and multiply. So between the three operators, you have to decide a priority. Like we saw in this table, multiply is having the higher priority than plus. So then you have to decide which of the multiply you will do first. So that time you will use this rule, which I have highlighted in yellow. Same priority means you are solving the one on the left first, and then from left you go towards right. So because of that rule, I solve this multiply first. So I solve A into B. When I solve A into B, I get the postfix like this, and I underline the solved part, AB asterisk. And there are two operators which are not solved, plus and multiply. Next you solve C into D. Okay, because multiply is having higher priority than plus. When you solve C into D, you will get the answer as, okay, you will get the answer as CD asterisk. So your solved is, you have put it in postfix. Underline it. Now the only operator that is left is plus. So when you solve that, this plus will be put at the end here. This is your answer. AB asterisk, AB asterisk, CD asterisk plus. Okay. So that is what most of you have been able to get the answer. So that is correct. Okay. So next, take down one more question. Convert the following infix expression. Convert the following infix expression to prefix expression. Convert the following infix expression to prefix expression. prefix means now the operator will come before the operands. Okay. The way you solve is the same. Look at the priorities and solve. So do this first one. Do the first one. So the answer is plus plus A multiply BCD. Okay. So I think you all are getting it. Plus plus A multiply BCD. Plus plus A multiply BCD. Okay. Aman, you have made a mistake. And I'll just solve it for the sake of some people who have got that mistake. Okay. So I'll do it quickly. I think by now you have understood. So again here you have to decide which is your highest priority. Highest priority is multiply. So solve this first. When you solve it, now you put the operator before. Okay. When you solve this, you put that multiply sign before this. So when you put it before, it will look something like this. Multiply before you have solved it, underline. Okay. So next step, there are two operators which are not yet solved, plus and plus. So same priority, you solve from left to right. So you're going to solve this one first. So the one operand for this plus is A, the other operand is multiply BC. When you solve this, you will get something like this. So this plus will be placed here. Okay. And since you have solved this, you can underline. Okay. It will be like this, plus A multiply BC plus D. Okay. So this part has been solved. Okay. Somehow this Excel is causing me problem. Okay. The next that you are going to solve is this plus D. So when you solve this, this plus sign will go in front. So this plus will come here. You will get the answer like this: plus plus A multiply BC D. Okay. So that Excel is giving me a wrong, it's some error. So that is fine. Just ignore it. Okay. So next you can try to solve this. Convert this into prefix. A multiplied by B plus C multiplied by D. Solve this one. A multiplied by B convert to prefix. Yes, yes, Aman. Yeah. What you all mean by same? I didn't get you all. Same means you all are saying the previous answer is you all are getting the same answer. Okay. Yeah. So this is the answer if you are getting plus asterisk AB asterisk CD. Okay, so that's the answer. Yes, that's the answer. Okay, so you are getting it. Good. So you will have understood how to solve and convert an expression from infix to prefix and convert an expression from infix to postfix. Okay, so this is the answer. Good. All of you are getting it. Okay. In future, maybe I'll give you some expressions for homework and you can try to solve those later. Okay. So for now, I just want to tell you today was supposed to be a lab. Okay. So you can just note down. I'll just show you what you're supposed to do for your lab. Okay. So basically for your lab, like your data structures lab is a separate subject. Okay, it's not the same as your data structure. So you're going to have separate passing in that. So if you fail in data structures lab, you can still pass in theory. Okay, so but you'll have to answer the lab again in future as a separate subject, or vice versa. You could fail in theory but pass in practical. Okay, so now for your lab, we are supposed to do 8 experiments minimum. Okay, so the first experiment I want to give you today, okay, out of that. So the first experiment that you're going to do today is you're going to write a program. You can take down in your books the first experiment. The first experiment is to write a C program. To write a title, you can write stacks and queues. Title, you can write stacks and queues. Aim to write a C program to implement stacks using arrays. Okay, and B, so that you can write that as the A part. Write a C program A, stacks using arrays, and B, queues using arrays. And B, queues using arrays. Now, I am going to share you this Word file. Okay, and this Word file, you are going to maintain this Word file, each one of you. You're going to write this experiment 1. You're going to write a title here. Okay, aim, whatever aim has been given. Don't change any of these things. Resource, apparatus required and all, that is fine. Okay, software also you keep it as Visual Studio, even though you may be using some other thing, just leave it as it is. Okay, course outcome, don't put anything. I will put it later. Okay, objectives, skill set is your aim. So whatever aim has been given to you, that you have to write here. The theory part, you're going to write theory, a little theory about stacks. Okay, and a little theory about queues. And then here in the procedure algorithm, suppose there is an algorithm. Okay, in some cases in future you may find an algorithm. If there is an algorithm that has been given to you, that algorithm will come here. Now for stacks and queues, there is no algorithm, so nothing will come. You can just leave it blank. Then your program, you're going to put both your programs here. Okay, first one is stacks using arrays, and the second one, put a title here. Okay, so you're going to put a title using comments. So for example, if it is stacks using arrays, you will put it here. I'm giving you this of some other subject, so you have to replace this obviously. Okay, so you're going to put the title here, and below this program here itself, you're going to paste the second program, because there are 2 programs. Okay, then paste your first output, call it as output 1. That will be the output of your stacks. Take a screenshot, put it there. Then below that, paste your second output of the queues program, call it as output 2. That should come under observations. Okay, output should come under observations. Then in the conclusion, you can leave this conclusion as it is, or you can write the program for stacks and queues was implemented successfully. Okay, or you can leave it as it is. Post lab questions, you are not going to put anything. So this is your soft copy, and like this you are going to maintain for each of the experiments that we are going to do. So I'm just giving you the first experiment. Like that, you're going to paste and you're going to make this Word document every time. Every time an experiment has been given to you. Okay. Now I'm going to give you both these programs. So I'm going to give you the stacks program. I'm going to give you the queues program. All you have to do is take it and run it in your software, whatever software that you are using. Okay. So if you are using something other than Visual Studio, you'll have to find out how to do the debugging. If you are using Visual Studio, like you can see, it is done. This program is done using top-down programming. So in top-down programming, I've declared the prototypes on top, and the functions are defined at the bottom in stacks program. Okay. And in the queues program, it is opposite. All the functions have been defined first. Okay, you can see the enqueue, dequeue, I explained you yesterday evening. And then at the bottom, the main function has been defined. Okay, so this is known as bottom-up programming. So I'm just showing you both the approaches to programming. In future, you'll have to decide whichever programming you like, style you like, bottom-up, top-down, and you choose your style and do. Okay. There's no compulsion that you have to follow any one style. So I'll post both these programs for you. I'll post this lab manual for you. Okay. And then I expect you to do, besides this, okay, this is just one part of it. For your programs, you are going to save your program soft copy. Okay. You're going to save your program soft copy. And besides maintaining this soft copy of your programs, of your lab manual like this, you're also going to write one file. Okay. So in that file, sometime back, if you remember, I told you to write I told you to buy bond pages. So in that bond page, you're going to write, suppose this is a bond page, write your title. Okay. Date I will give you later. So you write the date later when I give you. Right now, you don't write any date. Write your title, write your experiment 1 here, experiment 1. Okay. Write your aim. Then you can note down this. Write your theory. If you have a printer, take your program printout and then attach your program printout. So this will be a program printout, for example, with the output. Your program will be here with the output. If you don't have a program printer, if you don't have a printer, I don't want you to go outside and take printouts. Keep those programs with you, soft copy. When you join the college later, you can take a printouts and put. It's very important that you save your programs and keep. Okay. So after you put your aim, theory, then your program with the output, and your last page, you're going to write your conclusion. Your theory may continue from here and continue up to here. May continue. Okay. I don't want you to write many pages of theory, but you can write theory that will be useful for you to study for the exams from that point of view. Do it like taking notes. Okay. So I've already taught you stacks and queues. You know what has been taught for you in stacks and queues. So you can write the theory about stacks and queues here and do it exactly like going to learn for the exams about stacks and queues. So you can write what is a stack, when stack overflow happens, when stack underflow happens, what are the advantages of stack, what are the disadvantages, and all those things. Okay. Make notes for yourself. I will not tell you how many pages of theory should be there, but at least minimum 1 page I expect. Minimum 1 page. Maximum, it is for you how much you decide you want to score in the exams. That much you put theory here. So you can use it for your theory exam later to study. Okay. So I will not specify how much should be the maximum. And then after the theory is over, here you will write the conclusion. This bond pages I told you all to buy. So this will be a bond page and this will be a bond page and this will be a printout page with your program and output. And like that you're going to do it for each experiment. You're going to maintain a hard copy of the file also. Okay. So soft copy and hard copy of the file. So any doubts in what I just told? Anyone has any doubts? You can ask me about the file. Okay, again I'm insisting and I'm repeating that you revise your concepts of recursion, structures and pointers. No, Ria, the bond page work is to be done right away. It's whenever you all get time. Okay, so, you'll buy those bond pages, sanitize them. I won't ask you to show me the bond your file every week. Yes, yeah, I won't ask you to show the file every week. Okay, I won't ask you. I'm not telling you can use any kind of bond pages. Okay, I'm not telling you to write only on Don Bosco bond pages. You could write from any bond pages that you find close to your house. Okay, and if the cases are bad in your area, I won't insist that you go right away and buy the bond pages. Okay, I understand that we are in a special situation. I'm not insisting that you have to show me this file on Monday. You have to show me on next week. You have to show me the file at the end of the semester. Okay, you have to submit the file at the end of the semester. Okay, that time I may tell you to scan your file and send it to me. So that time you have to be able to send the file to me in a PDF format. If you all are not joining the college till then. If you join the college, then you have to submit the hard copy, is the file. But keep writing this file whenever you get time. You wait at the end to write all the files because you are having many subjects. So please don't wait till the end. Okay. So if you, like I told you, again, print out, please don't worry your parents that have to go out and take printouts. Printouts you can take in college when you join back if you don't have a printer. I don't want you to go outside or put yourselves or your parents at risk. Okay. So any difficulty you face, share it with me and we'll try to solve it together. Okay. Don't want you to take unnecessary risk. Don't want you to be coming to college all the way to buy Don Bosco bond pages. You can use any kind of bond pages that you find close to your house as long as it is bond pages. First reason, if you cannot find bond pages also, you let me know and then we'll see how to solve that problem also. Okay, so just let me know your problems if you are facing any problem. Okay, so see you all on for the next class on Tuesday. See you all.